So for example, I know if the audio is actually not good enough, people literally just won't listen to this. Like, people won't give it a chance. And there's a part of that makes sense to me. Like, when people are on podcasts eating food, I can't handle it. And so you could think of that as like a perfectionism thing, where it's like, oh, I can't eat this right now because my audio has to be clean. And you would be right that, like, me, Janie, like, she's not going to listen to it because your audio is you chewing, and that's going to be a problem for her. But if you thought, oh, no, I can't make this video, or I can't record this thing until I have this particular $1,000 microphone because it's the only acceptable caliber of audio, and that's what this YouTuber told me, or whatever, then it's like, well, that's just you holding yourself back, babe. So it's a funny middle ground. I wanted to talk about this because I just put out my first EP on Spotify and streaming platforms and everything, and it has been a real heartfelt joy to do that. So beautiful and amazing. And the project I put out is completely imperfect. Like, literally, like, every step of the way, I did everything wrong. And it felt like strength building. You know, it felt like an exercise of bravery, like a quest. And there's a version of myself who would do all of this and feel extremely ashamed of what I put out, which feels so crazy to me to say because I feel so proud of what I put out. And the tension between this really just made me think about worlds, contexts, which is, you know, I'm always somebody who says, like, the art is the way through. Like, the art, the process is how you get out of the feeling. And so I think I was feeling really trapped in the world that I situated myself in, which was, art has to look like this. Your music has to be able to be played in a grocery store for it to be good enough for you to put on Spotify to nobody. Because there's some big, bad, nebulous, gatekeeping voice in my head that isn't a person at a record label who could see potential from a decent demo with amazing lyrics. It's this machine that is determining if you are similar enough to this to be considered viable to share. So I wrote 80 songs in 5 years. I wrote 3, 4, 5 concept albums and just got to the point where I was trying to put them out and just kept hitting this wall of, like, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. And it wasn't good enough in the world, in the context I, like, made for myself. It wasn't good enough. And so I evaluated that context. I was like, do I believe this? Do I want to believe this? I feel like a broken record because I really do say this all the time, but I think everything we do, especially the art we put out, is value aligned. And an example of this is that one of the songs on the project is called Girl Street. And that is a song about having reconnected with my inner kid and sat down with her and said, girl, what do you want the world to look like? What would make you feel safe and happy and playful and joyful? Like, what do you need and what do you want? What is your world? Tell it to me. And what she told me was she wanted a stream in the back like a stream in the back alley and a neighborhood cat. She wanted to carry a baseball bat around with her to feel safe. She wanted a big fountain that she could throw coins into. She wanted birds and a big blue sky, and then occasional huge thunderstorms. Like, I wrote this song so that the world that she wanted would exist somehow. And that world is Girl Street, which is the name of the song. And, you know, I'm doing like an accompanying writing project with this EP that's all about this idea of like building a world that makes us feel more free and safe to be creative. Because I think creativity is extremely important, especially right now when we feel extremely constricted and trapped. Our imagination is the way that we find solutions to that. So that's an example of how I am putting into the world a piece of the world I want to build. Because I think all art is world building. They say that all the time in like marketing videos. Like, how do you market? You want a world built. Sorry about this coffee sound. Perfectionism. You want to market, you want a world build. It's like, well, the reason that works, I think, is because you're world building when you write songs. You're world building when you put art into the world, when you put a blog post out. Like, everything you do that you give is aligned with some world. And so when I was aligning with the Spotify algorithm, or what I thought about the Spotify algorithm, when I was aligning with it has to be good enough to be played in a supermarket, I couldn't put work out because my work doesn't fit that. And that made me feel like such a failure. And when I sat with that feeling and really took a look, like a genuine, like cut the shit look at myself, at my work, and at the world that I was trying to match up with, I found that I loved myself, I loved my work, and I didn't love the world. I don't hate the songs played at the supermarket, but that's not like where I imagine my music rooting into the world. I imagine listening to it on the bus on your way home and then feeling inspired to write something when you get home. I imagine listening to it at a park. I imagine listening to it in your bedroom when you really feel like you need a friend and feeling like, oh my God, this person and I know each other in a way because of the fact that we relate so much to these songs. Or, oh, no one's ever said that to me and I really needed to hear it. And those are intimate and personal experiences. They're not a universal like filter to put on your experience at the grocery store. Like, that's not it. It's more like a person coming in and whispering to your ear. It's like your friend, like buzzing you through the walkie-talkie because you live next door and you can barely, if you stand in the corner of your rooms, you can talk to each other on the walkie-talkie. And that feels perfect. And as soon as that became the world I was interested in releasing my music into, I had an EP on Spotify. And that's just that's like a conceptual, like me working through my own blocks blockages. I don't know. But I really am, there's a lot of technical pieces. Like this shift in perspective did not make it easier to, I mean, it did. But it was like I had to apply that shift of perspective to every part of the process, to the writing process, to the recording process, to the editing and production process, to deciding that I wasn't going to record in the ways that you record to get really gorgeous, clean takes. I recorded single takes of me and my guitar on a single microphone. And that microphone was my phone microphone. And I did 2 of those songs outside in a park with birds and trains and the water and people talking. At one point, I think my Sailor in Heat take, literally a dog like came up and was like sniffing me and trying to maybe eat some of my setup. And I just sang through it. And I could go through the album and say, oh, look, that's an integral line that I completely messed up. Like Sailor in Heat, in the title line of the song, I do the wrong chord and then switch to the right chord. There's like a little hiccup of that. And it's, my process was that I determined before I started recording what it would feel like to know I got the right take. And wow, is that different than being like a cop to yourself about perfectionism. I said, it's gonna feel in my body while I'm singing, it's gonna feel like this. And then when I listen to it, it'll feel like this. And when that alignment happens, no matter what it sounds like, that's the take I'm using. And again, it's like, depending on the world that I'm in, like what box I'm operating within, that is a huge failure because I'm not good enough. Because there are absolutely mistakes, vocal mistakes, guitar mistakes, popping in the microphone, like every type of mistake you could possibly have. I have it in there. But I thought, like, what do I want to be as a musician? A machine? A perfection machine? An entertainment pleasing robot? I thought if I could do anything in the world, it would be asserting that this was okay by proving it to myself, by just doing it. And that's what the whole project is. And I could talk endlessly about every step of the way and how I did it wrong. And it's like to do anything is a series of crossroads, and at every crossroads there's a bail point. Like I could have bailed so many times. And after I put it out, there was a piece of me that was like, am I gonna be so regretful of this? Am I gonna wish I'd bailed every single time? And that's not how I feel at all. I'm actually itching to get started on the next one. And the whole EP, I mean, there's songs that I've written throughout the years, but I recorded it and put it together in just a few days. And I think that's my process. Like, I don't think I'm a tinker until it's perfect kind of person. You know, I hear about the way that some artists and producers work together, and I'm like, sorry, I have permission to just do it. You know what I mean? And I do, and you do too. And so, yeah, I'm just chatting while I make my coffee. To say, fuck it, just go for it. See where you end up. Have fun. I love you. Good luck. And bye.